When there is hope, there is a way. Hello YouTube, this is Chriz Maniac bringing you folks another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle. You might notice that my voice is a bit more clearer and more crisp. That's because I have a new microphone, woohoo! And it's like attached to my headset now. So like I hope that my narrations are a bit more clearer, they're a bit more crisp and nice to listen to. Anyways, this battle is against Christoph, someone who shares my name, which I'm a big fan of. And this is an OU match. Looking at his team, he brought only like 2 OU Pokemon. And Miracle, I don't even consider that thing OU. How's that thing OU? But you shouldn't just judge a Pokemon team by its tiers. I bet the person who's using the Pokemon knows what he's doing. Anyways, I have a very standard OU team right here, and we cover each other's weaknesses and stuff, and it's very well structured in my opinion. I spent like a long time on it, and I should be able to do a lot of work in this guy's team. But this is a very close battle, and I got screwed over right here in the very beginning with his Alakazam, because Alakazam goes for a sub right when I go for the protect. So I'm like, damn it, it's sub Alakazam. And this means that I'm gonna have to break its sub. I can't break my sub with my Ferrothorn, and I don't want to take a Focus Blast, so I have to bring in my Rotom right here and Volt Switch out and bring in my Scizor. That's what I was planning to do anyways, but I will survive this thing's Psychic. And this tells me that this is the Life Orb Alakazam. And Life Orb Alakazam with a Magikarp hits really hard, and it just took out my Rotom in one shot. Even though my Rotom has no HP EVs, that still does a lot of damage. Anyways, we're bringing my Scizor because I know he can't really do much to me with a Focus Blast. But apparently it turns out that my opponent doesn't have Focus Blast on his Alakazam, which is really lucky in my part, and that means that my Scizor walls his Alakazam in completely. That's why he went for a Psychic here, and it hardly does any damage to me because I resist it, and I have Special Defense EVs and HP EVs because this is my bulky Scizor. Anyways, he brings in the Man, and the Man is actually my opponent's MVP for this match. This thing really just doesn't die, it just keeps on living. It's so annoying. Anyways, I bring in Fiorin, my Ferrothorn, thinking that he would go for some other move other than Close Combat, but he goes for Close Combat. I take that like a champ. I survived that because I have Defense EVs in this guy, and it does damage to him with Iron Barbs and my Rocky Helmet. So at least I'm getting residual damage in this on this hitmontop. That's what it's called. Anyways, I could just Leech Seed it and just like stall it out and go for a Protect right here. And I can only stall this thing. I don't really want to bring much into this thing. And my Ferrothorn's already in here, so I might as well do that. Anyways, I stay with my Ferrothorn, going for the Protect, just trying to stall this thing out. And he brings in Batman. But I don't go for the Protect right here. Actually, was just sacking off my Ferrothorn, but he doesn't go for the Close Combat. He just switches out, which is really nice on my part. But his Crobat turns out to have Hypnosis. I'm like, whoa, Hypnosis on Crobat? That really surprised me because Crobats don't really carry Hypnosis most of the time. But my Ferrothorn is still doing a lot of work on this guy's team by just wearing them down slowly with the Stealth Rocks, with the Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet damage. So my Ferrothorn is my MVP for this match. My Ferrothorn, spoiler alert, really doesn't die this match, well, for a long time anyways, because it just sits there and leash steeds and stuff, and gets his health back. Anyways, in comes the Man again. I don't want to stay in to this thing's Close Combat, and I need to keep my Ferrothorn alive, because my Ferrothorn will be very valuable for stalling out and wearing down my opponent's team later on in the match. Anyways, so bring in my Chandelure, and he goes for the Stone Edge right here, and that was a very great play by Christoph, because I don't know if he predicted that. He probably did, because I know he's a good battler, and he dealt a lot of damage to my Chandelure. And what's even more surprising is that I haven't knocked him out with my Fire Blast, and that really surprised me. I'm like, what? How can this thing survive a Fire Blast? But later on in the match, he told me, my opponent, that he has Assault Vest on his hitmontop, and that's a very good Pokemon to put Assault Vest on because he doesn't really use any status moves. He only needs to be there for Rapid Spin, and he has Intimidate plus like HP EVs and Defense and Special Defense EVs probably, and you get a very bulky Rapid Spinner right there. So that is a really cool set you have. I'm gonna copy that. Anyways, I like a Zam, and I'm like, okay, this guy is probably gonna sub on me. So while he comes in, I use Toxic Spikes and also Below Tick. Want to appreciate Toxic Spikes in the field. He goes for sub, just as I expected, and I break the sub with a Sludge Wave, expecting him to go for the sub, and yeah, it works out well for me. I break a sub, and I was predicting him to sub again this turn. Maybe I'll get lucky, but if I do get knocked out, which I do, I could bring my Caesar in for free and throw him out with a Bullet Punch. So Tsushima goes down my Tentacruel, and this Alakazam is really screwing me over this entire match. It took out one of my biggest walls of this team. Anyways, he goes for a Psychic right here. He stays in, and that was a very ballsy play by Christoph because I predicted him to switch out right here. I go for the Swords Dance, and my opponent's just out-predicting me. And now he expects the Bullet Punch from me, and he brings in his Milotic. And that is a very great play by Christoph. He got the better end of the predictions right there, because we were trying to predict each other. There's lots of mind games in this battle. Anyways, I go for the Roost right here, expecting him to bring in a Milotic, and I actually get the right prediction. Thank you! And he gets Poison right here, so that is awesome. This Milotic is Poison, and a Poison Milotic is a good Milotic if it's your enemy's Milotic. And I can just stall this Milotic out. And now, I'm hoping he doesn't have Ice Beam on this guy, so I can just bring in my Ferrothorn and possibly wake up. I need my Ferrothorn to wake up and get off the Leech Seed, and I can just basically have a Ferrothorn that's still alive. I need to heal up my Ferrothorn. He keeps going for a Scald right here, which convinces me that he doesn't have Ice Beam, which is great. And I go for a Leech Seed, and now I can get more HP back that he's dealing to me. And this is great. My Ferrothorn has a second lease on this battle, on his life in this battle, and my Ferrothorn is back at 40 HP. I'm getting double the amount of HP that he's dealing to me with his Scald. So my Ferrothorn is alive again. It's great. I can still do more residual damage on Christoph's team. He brings in the answer, which is his Smeargle, and the answer is going to go down to me because I'm going to Power Whip it next turn probably. He can't really do much to my Ferrothorn because what can a Smeargle do to a Ferrothorn unless he has Taunt or something? And Smeargles don't really carry taunts nowadays. And he's still poisoned, and it breaks his Sash, which it probably has. He goes for the Healing Wish, so I'm like, wow, so that's why you brought your Smeargle in. And the obvious switch in for him would be his Hitmontop, which is at like, I don't know, 10 HP. In comes the man. He really deserves that title because he is, again, alive. Like my Ferrothorn, he has a second lease on life, and now the man is ready to rumble. He's still dancing. He is still ready to rip up the dance floor, which is the battlefield. So I am threatened out by this thing. I don't want to stay into a close combat, so I get right on out of there. I bring in Caius and Gliscor expecting a close combat, but he just goes for Rapid Spin right here, predicting me to switch out. So he is still showing his prowess in Pokemon battling, predicting me like nothing. And he's still hurt by Poison, which is great. At least Poison's up on his field for me. That's like the only thing that is going for me at this point. Anyways, he switches out, and he brings in Crawdaunt. And Crawdaunt is a big threat to my team. Crawdaunt is an absolute powerhouse. I was predicting this thing to come in, so that's why I go for the Earthquake. And it does like half damage to him, which is good because I could go for the Earthquake next turn. And hopefully he goes for a Swords Dance or something. And it almost knocks him out. He goes for a Dragon Dance, so I'm like, yes, go for the Dragon Dance because now this thing is basically dead. This Crawdaunt's down because now I switch out. I bring in my spiky fruit thing, which is my Ferrothorn, and he goes for Aqua Jet and he stabs himself and takes himself out. So my Ferrothorn surviving really did matter, and I'm so happy that my Ferrothorn survived because it allowed me to work around that Crawdaunt, because that Crawdaunt probably would have been able to sweep my team. So Christoph sends in his Alakazam again, and I'm like, damn it, this thing is so annoying. It just keeps sitting up subs in my face. I can't really do much to it, but I'm super fortunate that he does not Focus Blast on this Alakazam because I could bring in my Steel types in the form of my Ferrothorn and my Caesar and completely wall it. So after breaking a sub, I switch out into my Caesar, Amazon, the Warrior Princess, and he goes for another sub, which is his last sub basically. And I can just Bullet Punch him down, and he can't really do much to me in return. So it looks like I'm pretty comfortable in this situation. I'm in a good position right now to wreck his Alakazam. So he goes for a Psychic right here. He doesn't do much to my Amazon because I am a bulky Caesar, and I go for the Bullet Punch, finally finishing this Alakazam, taking it down. So down goes Christoph's Alakazam without much consequence for me. but in comes his real MVP for this team. It is an OU, but it still does a lot of work for him. In comes the man, which is a title that it really deserves because it truly is a man in this Pokemon battle. Because it survives, it doesn't die. And as he goes for Stone Edge right here, he can't really do much to my Gliscor. I'm just gonna heal off that Stone Edge like nothing ever happened to me. And this man is just gonna get stalled out basically. He withdraws the man, he brings in his Milotic as expected, because Milotic's basically the only way he can break through my Gliscor. So I go for Earthquake right here, just seeking to wear down any of his Pokemon because Earthquake deals quite a bit of damage to all his Pokemon that he has left. So he is still poisoned, both of us are poisoned, but this poison is actually healing me. And I go for the Protector right here, just getting more damage off in his Milotic. So he goes for the Confuse Ray right here. I'm like, okay, that's a pretty interesting move on Milotic. That won't really do much to me. He's hurt by poison still. I go for a knockoff right here, just trying to finish him off. But I should have went for the Earthquake and knocked him out, but no, I didn't. I forgot that he didn't have a Citrus Berry on him. He already used it up. And my Gliscor goes down at the cost of his Milotic. So that was a needless sacrifice on my part. That wasn't even a sacrifice, that was just a waste. Yeah, that was just a derp moment for me right there. In comes Thorn, my Ferrothorn. He brings in a Batman. And this Batman thing is still being annoying. It puts my Ferrothorn to sleep a second time. And yeah, my Ferrothorn's asleep. But I can still stay in here because he would do damage to himself with Rocky Helmet and Iron Barb's damage. And strangely enough, he goes for a Zen Headbutt right here, thinking that it would knock me out, but I'm still alive. And he's just doing residual damage to him over and over and over again. So I'm happy with that. I don't really mind that. And he loses HP too with Life Orb Recall, so he's basically just slowly taking himself out. So knowing that he can't really do much to me with his Crobat, and he probably would want to save his Crobat for later on to Brave Bird something, in comes the man. He intimidates me. He should have done this in the first place and tried to close combat me, but now I go for the Protect. And I should have went for the Leech Seed, but whatever. I was expecting to go down right there, but I go for the Protect a second time, just wanting to get more damage off on him. And he goes for close combat, and he gets more poison damage, which is great. I'm continually wearing down his team. And I go for a second Protector here, like a real jerk, but I needed to win. He got the early lead on me earlier, and I needed to win this battle. But he goes for close combat, finally takes on my Ferrothorn, but not without me dealing Iron Barb damage and Rocky Helmet damage to him, plus poison damage, and stalling him out a bit. So it really is racking up. My Ferrothorn is truly the MVP for this match, but the man, he fought heroically this battle, but he is not going to survive a Bullet Punch from my Scizor. So I Bullet Punch the man, down goes the man, even though he's wearing pink. By the way, pink is a manly color. Okay, anyways, he brings his Batman, and this is the last Pokemon of his, and I Bullet Punch for the win, and I won against Christoph. So even though Christoph had an early lead right there, I still won with my 3 Pokemon that I had left, which is my Gliscor, my Scizor, and my Ferrothorn. So that was a very great game, Christoph. Hope we battle again soon, so I can upload more epic battles like this. And I hope you folks enjoyed this battle. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you did. And I'll see you folks next time!